Words are powerful motivators and have the ability to transform the history of a nation and bring transition in the perception and mindset of people. It is proud privilege of FairGaze to host the MUN conference in association with UNIC and empower young delegates to pool their innovative ideas and collaborate fruitfully for multilateral negotiations to resolve issues concerning the world. I hope you must have savored each moment of the proceeding with.
First of all, I would like to thank Bhavna for giving me this opportunity and taking me along in this wonderful journey. I've been part of FairGaze for a few months now and I've enjoyed it a lot. Year after year, FairGaze MUN has always set new and higher standards for itself and other model UN conferences. It has always stood up to the expectations and the prestige that it is associated with. Introducing MUNs at a junior level so as to allow the younger students of the school to develop their debating, deliberating, and critical thinking skills. It is an honor to see this conference become a reality. The work put behind it by the entire Secretariat. I sincerely thank all the delegates for the time and effort they've put behind the conference. It is thanks to you all that we are here, we are where we are today. FairGaze is one of the best experiences I have had in the Secretariat, and I hope it was the same for all the other delegates. Looking at the amazing feedback from all delegates, I'm sure that our committees were a huge success and it wouldn't have been possible without our amazing executive board. Now, as we close the chapter, I wish all the delegates, the Secretariat, and the executive board a best of luck and an excellent future. Thank you so much, delegates.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and it's a pleasure to speak to so many young people. I always enjoy interacting and engaging with young people, and especially in a forum like the Model UN, it's very near and dear to me. I participated in Model UN when I was in high school, and it was a very formative experience because it helped develop a lot of critical skills: leadership, teamwork, critical thinking, and an understanding and curiosity of global issues. And these skills have carried forward and helped me develop in my personal and professional life. And especially when we're looking into what are the critical skills needed for the future of work and the future of learning. And the future of work, the skills most needed is actually not a physical skill, it's a mindset. It's a mindset of curiosity, of continuous learning. The learning never stops. And it is understanding systems. And when I talk about systems, it means understanding not just your place in society and your place within your family unit or your place within your workplace, but more importantly, how societies and how systems work together on a much bigger level. The challenges we face together as a climate, as a community and as a planet, in terms of climate change, in terms of pandemics, in terms of all of these very, very complex and interrelated issues, cannot be solved alone by one country or one society. They need to be solved together. And we need to understand how things work and how they're related together. And that's why understanding systems is so important. And that's why venues such as the Model UN allow young people to better understand systems and help them think about the larger magnitudes and consequences of how countries work together. And so it's my pleasure to be able to be with you today. I'm sure you gained and learned a lot from today, and I'm really interested to see how the rest of your educational and professional careers go. I know that a lot of Model UN students continue to engage and nurture their intellectual curiosity, and as well as their international cooperation into various different interesting careers and pathways. And I just want to leave you with something that I find very, very important, is that as you go along, understand that everybody has something to teach you, and everything has, you can learn from anyone and anywhere. And education goes beyond the classroom. It's about exercises like these where you immerse yourself in an environment. And the learning happens as you interact with new people, new cultures. You open up your mind, you open up your heart, and you open up your horizons to new experiences. So I would invite you to have as many new experiences, meet different people, interact, have different circles of friends, and understand that anyone and anywhere can teach you something. And that is with that attitude that will help you succeed in life, that continuous learning and adapting to change, because that is what is constant in the future, is change. So I congratulate you for being, one step ahead of the game and engaging in menus such as this. And I wish you well and continued success as you move on in life. And I'm very, very happy to see so many bright, young, smart, hardworking young people here today. Thank you so much for having me.
Very good evening to all of you, all the young crowd here. It's always lovely to be with the young people, because I think, the learning never stops. And that is from the young that you learn this fundamental of life. We don't inspire you, you inspire us. So on starting on this note, I'm very happy that you all are, working on your skills, developing your skills, and taking a lead role in identifying and working on identifying global issues and finding and trying to implement the solutions for them. These are basically the skills which will help you grow and achieve your career goals. So that is one aspect of life. To all my young friends here, I would, in this short speech or in this short talk session with you guys, I would like to share, some skill sets or some fundamentals of life which I have learned and which have helped me grow as a person and helped me meet the challenges which have come my way in my life. And I think, there are a few things which you cannot stop. So facing challenges and all those things are one of those things which, no matter how practical and how good a leader or a person or a worker you are, you will meet these challenges. So in the life ahead, we need to be prepared for these things. So, I will discuss these 4 basic things which I strictly and strongly believe in. And one of them is, number 1, empathy. So I believe empathy is one thing which, you're working with your team, with your family, in your school, in your college, or in your careers ahead. Empathy is one thing everyone needs to have and instill. The reason is, when we talk of issues, global issues, when we talk of challenges people are facing, when we talk of finding the solutions, how will it all start? It will not start till the time we identify and we relate to the people who are facing those problems. And the basis of that is being empathetic. If you see an issue, if you see some people or some individuals facing problems, instead of giving a deaf ear, or instead of just ignoring, or instead of just leaving people be, try to understand, try to find solutions, and try to relate to their problems. I think that is the starting point. Second thing that I would like to talk to you guys about is having the strict desire and ability to speak up your mind. And when I say that we should all learn to speak up our mind, is that freedom to speech is one thing which is actually being challenged all across the world. People are facing challenges on this front, I think almost, everywhere on different levels. And at times, it's not the external factors that impose these restrictions. It is the internal, maybe confidence, maybe fear, maybe whatever you call it, could be various factors. All these internal plus external factors create this hindrance and not let us speak our mind out. That is one of the things which I think you should all identify and work on. And when I say learn to speak doesn't mean that, you need to be impolite or firm, or, you just need to not respect others and just put your point across. When we say speech means communication, and communication means that the other person should also be able to receive the message that you're trying to give. So try to be humble, firm, and polite, but try to put across your point, right? Third thing is work dedicatedly and follow your dreams. No dreams are too big to achieve. Never think that, I don't think that is possible, or how. Everything I think in this world is achievable. Never settle for less. Give your best and try to achieve your desires, your dreams. Work continuously, work diligently, work dedicatedly. And wherever you are, in college, in school, in your career, or in whichever platform or field of life you are in, give back to the society in whichever way possible. We grow as a society. We can never grow as just individuals. And I know you all people at such a young age with this desire of working for United Nations and working for the society already have these things in you. Just don't let the spirit die. Just work hard and give your best. All the best to all of you.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you all, the young faces, the young minds, and also the beautiful flags of various countries. It almost gives me as if I'm in an international meeting, and I suppose I'm right. And also when, in the presence of the General Secretary of the UN, I think I should address you all as delegates, the Honorable General Secretary, the Honorable Delegates of various countries. Beautiful, beautiful to see you. And it's also an honor to be present with you, and thanks to FairGaze, which invited me for this evening. And this gives me again an opportunity to go back to my days, my school days, where I have been part of a student movement, though we did not have those years, MUN. But we had different moments, and also the moments when I had been with the youth movement and the students movement as a state coordinator, meeting with them, engaging with them, and experimenting things with them. So thanks to FairGaze organization for this beautiful opportunity. Looking at you, I'm also I envy you for the beautiful opportunities that you have or you got, and the number of platforms that are available for you to experiment your talents. In fact, I would say this may be for some of you the first platform that you have to discover and experiment. For some of you, this may be the second one. For some of you, this may be the you already had various platforms to experiment and discover your talents. But remember, whenever you get an opportunity, wherever you get an opportunity, do not hesitate. Always come forward to discover your talents, the hidden talents that are inside you. Come forward to experiment with your talents that you have already discovered. Some of us may already know that I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm good at various things. But when you get a platform, experiment your creativity with your talents. See the possibilities, how you can experiment with them and then take it higher, take it further, take it longer, so that your talents are useful to you and useful to others. And also, I would say, along with discovering, experimenting, exploit your talents. Exploit every bit of the God-given talents in you. God has invested in you. God has invested lots of talents in each one of you, to speak, to act, to discover, to discuss, to dialogue, to debate, and various talents have been given to you. Exploit each of them. Use them to the maximum. Optimize all the talents that you have, so that you have your satisfaction. You give satisfaction to those who listen to you, those who look at you, those who who are spectators at your platforms, and also at the same time you're also useful to the society. You're useful to the society. So it's the best thing, I would say, the jargon or the formula that you should always remember is discover, experiment, and exploit. Discover, experiment, and exploit everything that you have. And do not hesitate, and do never compare yourself with other people. With the talents that are with you, the possibility is, oh, looking at somebody else, he sings or she sings better, or he acts better or she acts better, or he or she speaks better. No, never compare yourself with other people. There is only one person to compare yourself with or compete with, and that is you, none other. Compete and compare yourself only with yourself. If you can compete with yourself, and if you can win over that, that is a great progress. That is scaling greater heights. And do not compare with other people, because comparing with other people, you can never compare, because what God has given to you is different from what God has given to another person. The way you speak, the way you pronounce, the way you walk, the way you talk, and all these things are different in each one of us. So never compare. And what you have is unique, very important, and very special. So in that way, never compare yourself with other people. And the talents that you have are beauties. Each of the talents that you have is a beauty. And these beauties are oftentimes not just external, they're also internal. So remember, these beauties which are in you should be looked into also. You should look into find out what are the beauties that you have. And these internal beauties, sometimes the intellect is often not considered as a beauty. The knowledge that you have is not considered as a beauty. The wisdom that you have is not a beauty. But I would say these are also beautiful things. Consider these beautiful things. And as you are already on a platform like this, have an exposure to a great, great reality, I would say there is a passage or a process that all of you need to engage in. And we have heard knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But unfortunately, in present day context, people misunderstand and misread it. And they replace knowledge with information. Information is never knowledge. Information is the first stage of knowledge. So get information, all the information that you can. For example, there are varieties of information. There are true information, false information, relevant information, irrelevant information, useful information, not so useful information. There is a constructive information available. There are destructive information available. It is up to you. Pick everything, but at the same time, process each of the information that you receive. Verify each of the information that you receive, and take the information to the next level of acquiring knowledge. Information is just a door which is opening up to knowledge. And for that, you need to read more, understand more, do a research, in the same subject, so that from information you become a knowledgeable person. And knowledge is power. Exactly, knowledge is power. It is not. It doesn't give you physical power, but it gives you much bigger power, a psychological, a social power, an intellectual power. So knowledge is power, and it is knowledge is arrived at when you have an in-depth awareness of something or anything. Information is very superficial. So move on from information. Information may be the first platform or a first stepping stone. And from that first stepping stone, move on to the second stepping stone of knowledge, acquiring knowledge. That is in-depth information, in-depth awareness, in-depth research into anything and everything. And what is the third step, or the final step, is having wisdom. Transforming. For example, you have to transform the ordinary information that you have into a knowledge by doing an in-depth study, and transform the knowledge into wisdom. And how do we do that? Whenever you add experience with your knowledge, that becomes wisdom. Knowledge and experience forms wisdom. So it is every information that you have need to be transported or transformed into a wisdom. That is very, very important. Just to give you an example, from yesterday, day before yesterday, we have a new president in India, the second woman president, the first tribal president, Ms. Draupadi Murmu. And this is just an information. And what is the knowledge about her? when we get to read and understand the roles and responsibilities of the President of India, that is a knowledge about the President of India. Otherwise, the name is just information. When you understand the roles and responsibilities, the powers of the person who is the President of India, then that becomes a knowledge. And how does this become a wisdom? For example, when we read more how this person, the President, the first citizen of India, uses his or her roles and responsibilities to serve the country, be it the current, the 15th president or the previous presidents, Mr. Govind, Mr. Abdul Kalam, or K.R. Narayanan, anyone. How do they use their knowledge and apply their knowledge in assisting the country, in developing the welfare of the people, in governance of the country? So this is what wisdom is. So information, just the name and the other, this one is only information. And an in-depth study, understanding the roles and responsibilities, it's a knowledge. And how do they apply their life experience is for us a wisdom. So I would strongly recommend, I would encourage each of you, just don't live with information. Transform those informations into knowledge. Transform the knowledge into wisdom, so that the wisdom helps you at a personal level, perhaps for any motive, helps you at a professional level, meaning to say it can help you in your career. And third, it should definitely help at a social level. Your wisdom is not just for you. Your knowledge is not just for you. It is for you and for the society where you live, the society in which you live, society which helps you to live. So everything that you receive, information, knowledge, and wisdom finally reaches its culmination when you put all this at the service of the country, at the service of the people, at the service of the society. I wish you all the best as you move on, as you move forward in your life journey, that you will be great personalities in the coming years who will help the country to grow forward, who will help the poor to become citizens who live with dignity and honor in our dear and beloved country. All the best and congrats to each of you.
Won't take too much of your time. You've had some good speakers today talking to you about many issues, about giving back to the society, about taking education forward, about being confident, being responsible, and learning from whatever and wherever you can. I would just like to add couple of points, but very short ones. One is, of course, I thank you all that you found learning about the UN interesting. You spent time, you spent efforts, and made the attempt to learn about the UN, how it works, what are the countries, how member states interact, what are the stands that they take. It does help you a lot in understanding global issues and global politics. It does help you understand why do countries take certain stances and why do countries don't take certain stances. It'll also help you to understand a lot of things about how the organization works, if you wish to, of course, not at this stage, but if you wish to learn more about the organization, it'll help you understand how the organization works. It's not a legal police, it's not a policing organization that would make sure that certain rules or regulations are followed. It's a global governmental organization that is formed by the governments of the world, by member states, and can only function and deliver if the members deliver to their promises. So I thank you all that you've made the effort to learn about it, and we are always there in case you want to know more about it and to learn more about it. You'll have more opportunities, more MUNs to know about the UN. The other thing that I would like to emphasize on is while like the other speakers mentioned about wisdom and knowledge and giving back to the society, there's one thing that you should definitely think about while you think about giving back to the society is individual action um, towards saving your environment, towards saving this one planet that you have, and towards which is basically saving yourselves. So as the latest you may or may not have read, but I'm sure you'll read in future classes or in and if you take the environment as a career, you will learn about it in your future. How the climate is irreversibly impacting the world, how we're at a tipping point. So basically, it's at right now, if we don't take any further action to reduce the impacts of climate change or to adapt to the different impacts of climate change, we are very much over as a species. And while, yes, governments hold larger responsibility, governments, which basically means the member states, like I was mentioning, they hold a larger responsibility of setting policies, making regulations, bringing out laws, bringing up infrastructure, environment friendly infrastructure. But it is, after all, individual and citizen action that is going to bring about the difference, uh, which will help the governments to implement those policies. So if the government, for instance, has banned single use plastic, it will only work out if individuals stop using and purchasing plastics. And it's not just about single use plastics. We need, I mean, so what I'm basically trying to say is this is where individual action can work. This is where you can make the difference. This is where you can bring about the change, where you don't need anybody's rule or regulation to help you do something. You can make sure simple steps, simple things that can bring about change in everyday life. From something as simple as which everyone has been harping about is switching off lights and switching off fans when not in use, not taking off chargers when they're not in use, to something, using bicycles wherever you can. Of course, it's not easy to bicycle on Delhi roads, or if you're from Delhi, or even a lot of other cities. But so bicycle wherever you can, walk wherever you can walk, distances that you can walk. So and bringing about simple changes in your lifestyle. For instance, while these actions, so for instance, like bicycling is something that is dependent on the distance, on the weather, on the roads, etc. Something like buying or consuming is something that's in your hand. So not buying clothes unnecessarily, not eating out unnecessarily. Fine, we do love to wear new clothes, we love to eat out, and we're doing that more and more. So things that are in your hand, things that you can control, is something that is definitely what you should do, what you should bring about as a matter of doing it every day in your life, and also trying to get your families to change, while it is, like I said, this is the only last, and also many reports, and in fact even the UN Secretary General has said that this is the tipping point, this is the last ditch effort that we can make to make sure that we don't get extinct as a species. Thank you so much once again for being part of this, for making the effort, and for learning about different issues, about different agendas of the committees. I would also like to thank FairGaze, which is our partner and has put in a lot of effort and has put in a lot of time and effort on this. And I'm really grateful that we found such a great partner to work with. Thank you.
I'm pleased to announce the following for the best delegate winners. For UNGA, the winner is the delegate of India, Darsh. Congratulations. The next winner from WHO, the delegate of Belarus, Arush. From UNESCO, the delegate of Egypt, Sykrit. From UN Women, delegate of Australia, Animesh. And UNHRC, delegate of South Africa, Archer. And for international press, the best journalist, Sharanya Ray. Congratulations to all of the best delegate winners. Great work. And also a congratulations to all the other delegates for their participation in making this a very productive, constructive, and informative event.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and congratulations to all the winners. Now, may I request Ms. Urshri Bara to announce the high commendation for all the committees.
Hello. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the high commendations are as follow. For UNGA Delegate of South Africa, that is Lavanya.
Thank you, ma'am.
WHO Delegate of Japan, Anika. UNESCO, its Delegate of Argentina, Arushi. For UN Women, its Delegate of Ukraine, Gia. And for UNHRC, its Delegate of Pakistan, who is Raghav. Heartiest congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, may I request Ms. Sanchi to announce the special mentions for all the committees.
Yeah, so for UNGA, the delegate of Sweden and Antigua and Barbuda, who are Vardhan and Chedan. WHO, delegate of South Korea, who is Alakmar. UNESCO, delegate of Turkey, Canada, and Cameroon, who are Arab, Vidisha, and Enyat. UN Women, delegate of Armenia, who is Mansi. UNHRC, its delegate of China, who is Argaman. Congratulations, all of you, and good luck.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, may I request Father Robert Simon to please announce the best position papers and the verbal mentions for all the committees.
Yeah. Under the category of position paper, UNGA Delegate of South Africa is Lavanya.
Thank you, sir.
And WHO Delegate of South Korea is Alakmar. UNESCO Delegate of Hungary is Misty. And UN Women Delegate of Japan is Sneha. And UNHRC Delegate of India is Aruhi. Next, we have the verbal mention. UNESCO Delegate of China, Belize, Armenia, Germany, New Zealand, Brazil, Singapore, South Africa, Australia, France, and USA are Aruhi, Shanmukha, Manya, Prisha, Kavya, Babisha, Naina, Sachin, Kritin, Kabir, and Umid. UN Women Delegate of Belarus is Chu. Kudos to each of you and all the best.
And now is it time to announce the best school National FairGaze Inter-School Moon Delegation. So any guesses from the sides of delegates who must have won this award? I can see the smiles that I suppose that my school must have won, so there is a lot of excitement. Okay, I can see in the chat box also Sarvottam. Others are also writing their respective school's name. Very nice. So, clearly, okay. So without taking much time and to resolve the butterflies in your stomach, so the winner of the best national FairGaze Inter-School Moon delegation goes to Sarvottam International School, Greater Noida. Huge round of applause for them. So this conference can never be successful without our esteemed Secretariat, Ms. Ananya Mukola, the Secretary General, and Ms. Yashnita Nambiar, the Deputy Secretary General. And would also like to appreciate all our executive board members of each committee, starting with United Nations General Assembly, the Chairperson, Mr. Vipul, Vice Chairperson, Mr. Shashwat Mishra, United Nations Human Rights Council, the Chairperson, Mr. Om Ashish Pandit, the Vice Chairperson, Mr. Aryan Nair, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, Chairperson Ms. Gauri Vadera, Vice Chairperson Ms. Unnati Pandey, World Health Organization Chairperson Mr. Om, Vice Chairperson Mr. Daksh Bhatia, UN Women, Chairperson Mr. Aditya Sahani, Vice Chairperson Ms. Shruti Gupta, and in international press, Editor-in-Chief Ms. Shakshi. So please give them all a huge round of applause for their dedicated efforts throughout the conference, for all our Secretariat members and the Executive Board. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to mention the very talented Ms. Ananya Sahu, a class 10 student from Phoenix Green School of Learning, who was our trainer in the training session of this month. So applauses for her as well. And now is the time to release the newsletter of National FairGaze Inter-School Moon. So I would request the host to kindly share the final output that has been created by the international press. It is not much clearer here, maybe due to the network, but we would be live in this newsletter on our portal as well, and you can check out there and download. So this is the great work done by international press, and I would like to appreciate Ms. Shakshi, who is the editor-in-chief, and her co-reporters for their extensive work on it. Applause and applauses for them. They all are students, and they taking such positions like editor-in-chief, reporters, extensively working on this with their diligence. So I would like to appreciate the international press for taking out this newsletter. So the people behind this conference worked really hard to give you all the best Moon experience ever. Would be mentioning all of them, starting with the core, as without them this could not be possible. So FairGaze Director Mr. M.L. Sudin, FairGaze Chief Operating Officer Ms. Shatrupa Das Gupta, and Mr. Rishabh Singh, who is the Manager, Brands and Alliances. And now coming to the ones who were handling this conference with their utmost dedication and 24/7 help to support you, guide you, and make you learn throughout this journey. Ms. Mansi Bisht, Public Relations Officer, who was with you and working, every time whenever you needed her support. She was all time there supporting you all with all the information. So huge round of applauses for Ms. Mansi. And then for Ms. Hitanshu, who is the host for the day and also the trainer in the orientation program. Applauses for Ms. Hitanshi as well. And then Ms. Renu, who is the PR coordinator, supporting in all the technicalities of this month. They all together worked in great coordination to give all the delegates full-on UN experience. Also extending my thanks to our IT, creative and digital support teams. Thankful to Mr. Abhay, IT head, Mr. Jaswinder, creative head, and Mr. Anurag, the digital head, for their extensive support. I extend my thanks to all the parents, teachers, Moon coordinators, and principals of various schools. And on behalf of all FairGaze and United Nations Information Center family, we thank each one of you for becoming a part of National FairGaze Inter-School Moon. Soon we are coming up with more school-centric Moons and for all our students. So there is a chance for all the chairs and the secretariats to become a part of FairGaze Moon family by enrolling as FairGaze Moon ambassadors. So for more details, you can visit the website. And now I would like to congratulate all the winners, your digital winners appreciation certificates. I know you are awaiting for this also. So that will be sent to your registered email IDs before the end of next week. And your participation certificates will be uploaded to your respective dashboards. So you can download them by next week using your respective login credentials. So hope to see you all next time, and with lots of best wishes from FairGaze and UNIC. Thank you and bye-bye.